About 6 weeks ago, a 2018 F-150 rolled into my shop with a misfire so faint you could barely feel it at idle. The owner wasn't worried, he was proud. He'd just changed his own spark plugs, Motorcraft plugs, correct part number, torque wrench, everything by the book. He smiled and said, "I made sure to do it right." The problem is, one of those careful decisions was the reason the truck was misfiring. Today, I'm going to show you the spark plug mistake almost every F-150 owner makes, why it can turn into a multi-$1,000 repair, and why the 1% who avoid it are the one whose engines last the longest. I'm RJ. 20 years working on Fords? Let's get into it. Before I tell you what this owner did, I want to walk you through the two mistakes most F-150 owners already know about, because when I tell people there's a common spark plug mistake they're probably making, these are the two things they always guess. And neither one caused this truck's misfire. The first thing people guess, they modified the gap on a modern iridium plug. If you've done any research on spark plugs for an EcoBoost engine, you've read that gap matters. And it does. The gap determines how much voltage it takes to fire the spark, and that affects combustion efficiency, fuel economy, and how the engine behaves under boost. So the instinct to check the gap before installation is correct. The problem is what happens next. Modern Motorcraft iridium plugs come pre-gapped from the factory. The center electrode is a thin iridium wire, sometimes less than a millimeter in diameter, bonded to the plug with precision equipment. When you take a conventional gapping tool and press it against that electrode to adjust it, you're applying mechanical force to a component engineered to tolerances tighter than most shop tools can measure. I've seen brand new plugs ruined in under 2 seconds this way. A small chip at the tip of the electrode, a microfracture you can't see without magnification. The plug goes in looking fine. 60 days later, the engine has an intermittent misfire under boost that no one can find because nobody's looking at a plug that was new 6 weeks ago. The correct procedure: verify the gap with a wire gauge if you want peace of mind. Look at it, measure it. If it's within spec, leave it exactly as it came out of the box. Never let anything touch that iridium center electrode. Verify the gap, don't adjust it. Never touch the center electrode. The second thing people guess? They used aftermarket plugs instead of Motorcraft. This one is more common than people admit, and the consequences take long enough to show up that most owners never connect the cause to the problem. Motorcraft plugs for a 3.5 EcoBoost run about $20 to $25 each. 8 plugs is $200 before you've touched a wrench. Right next to them on a shelf are aftermarket brands at $8 to $12 each. Same iridium tip, same gap spec on the box. Looks identical. The difference is heat range. Ford engineers the EcoBoost around a specific plug that manages heat transfer at a very specific rate under boost conditions. Aftermarket plugs are designed to fit many applications, not one specific engine. The margin for error shrinks. The truck runs fine for 20,000 miles, then misfires start under hard acceleration. P0301, P0302, random misfire codes under load. I had a customer with a 2020 F-150 Raptor spend 11 months and over $2,000 chasing a misfire that only appeared above 4,000 RPM under full boost. 3 shops, 2 coil replacements, 1 injector cleaning. When he brought it to me, I pulled the plugs. Aftermarket brand, wrong heat range for the 3.5 high output, new Motorcraft set, correct part number, misfire gone on the first test drive. For EcoBoost engines, Motorcraft plugs aren't a preference. They're an engineering specification. The wrong heat range runs fine for months. The damage shows up slowly, and it usually gets blamed on something else. If you want the complete maintenance intervals for your F-150, plugs, fluids, everything Ford doesn't put in the owner's manual, the Ford Longevity Blueprint is linked in the description. The owner with the 2018 F-150 didn't modify his gap. He used Motorcraft plugs, correct part number, bought from the dealer. Neither of those mistakes caused his misfire. Here's what he did. If you've owned a Ford long enough, you've probably heard about the 5.4 Triton spark plug problem. The 3-valve 5.4 had inadequate thread engagement in the aluminum head, only 4 or 5 threads holding the plug instead of the usual 8 to 10. Under heat cycles, those plugs would seize, and when you tried to remove them, they'd blow out of the head entirely, taking the threads with them. A plug change could turn into a cylinder head job in about 3 seconds. That engine taught an entire generation of Ford owners to be very careful with spark plugs in aluminum heads. One lesson that got passed down was to use anti-seize compound on the threads. For the 5.4 Triton, some owners used it hoping to prevent seizing. That made sense in that context. It's the wrong move on every modern EcoBoost engine. And the reason it's wrong is exactly what caused this owner's misfire. Most modern Motorcraft iridium plugs for EcoBoost engines have a corrosion-inhibiting coating on the threads, a thin plating that acts as a release agent when the plug is removed after 60,000 miles. Ford engineers the EcoBoost around plugs designed for dry installation. That coating is already doing the job the anti-seize tube thinks it's doing. When you add anti-seize on top, you're not adding protection, you're adding a lubricant, where the engineers assumed there would be friction, and friction is the entire reason a torque wrench works. Here's what actually happens. When you torque a dry spark plug to spec, roughly 13 to 15 foot-pounds on most EcoBoost applications, that number assumes a certain amount of thread resistance. The wrench clicks when the twisting force hits the target, but the wrench can't tell the difference between resistance from clamping the plug correctly and resistance from thread friction. It measures total resistance. Coat those threads with anti-seize. You've removed friction. The wrench clicks at the same number, but a much larger share of that force went into actually driving the plug deeper into the head. NGK and Denso both note that anti-seize can significantly affect torque accuracy, and some recommendations suggest reducing the torque spec by 20 to 30% if you use it. Almost nobody does that. They set the wrench to the factory number, hear the click, and walk away, certain they did everything right. In reality, they've over-torqued every plug in the engine and have no idea. EcoBoost cylinder heads are aluminum. Aluminum is soft. The steel plug is far harder than the material it threads into. Over-torquing can damage the plug threads and the aluminum head, and in serious cases, crack the thin bridge of aluminum between the plug hole and the combustion chamber. On an EcoBoost running boost pressure, that's not a plug problem anymore. That's a cylinder head problem. I had a customer last year, 2019 F-150 3.5, carefully maintained, meticulous owner. He'd used anti-seize on every plug change because that's what his father taught him. At 108,000 miles, one plug blew partially out under acceleration. The threads in the head were gone. Helicoil repair plus labor, $3,800. He'd done every plug change correctly by every standard he knew. The anti-seize was the only thing he'd done wrong, and he'd done it on every single plug, every single time. $3,800. One tube of anti-seize. Applied correctly by a careful owner who was following advice that used to be right. There's a second problem beyond the over-torque, and this is what caused the actual misfire in the truck that started this conversation. Anti-seize is an electrical insulator and a thermal one. A spark plug uses its threads and its seat to dump combustion heat into the cylinder head and uses that metal-to-metal contact as part of its ground circuit. When you coat the threads with a non-conductive compound, you slow heat transfer and can degrade the ground path. If any of that compound migrates onto the insulator or the firing tip, which it does under heat and vibration, it can foul the spark and cause a misfire. No cracked coil, no failed plug, no broken part to find, just contamination, doing exactly what physics says it'll do. I cleaned his plugs, reinstalled them dry to the correct torque, and the misfire was gone before he finished his coffee. Here's exactly how the 1% do it. They buy the correct Motorcraft plug for their specific year and engine, not a cheaper substitute that looks similar on the shelf. They leave the threads exactly as they come out of the box, dry. They verify the gap with a wire gauge if they want peace of mind, but they never touch the center electrode and they never adjust what's already within specification. They start the plug by hand, threading it in with their fingers first, so they know it isn't cross-threading into soft aluminum. They run it down until it's snug, then they put a torque wrench on it, bring it to the factory spec, and stop the instant it clicks. No anti-seize, no second pass to make sure it's really tight. Tight is not the goal, correct is the goal. That's the whole procedure. The discipline to do less than your instincts tell you to do. To unlearn a piece of advice that was right for cast iron heads and bare steel threads in 1985, and stop letting an old habit make an aluminum EcoBoost head pay for it. The 5.4 Triton taught Ford owners that spark plugs and aluminum heads need respect. That was the right lesson. What got lost in the retelling was that the solution from one aluminum problem is different from the solution to another. Not enough thread engagement in 2006 is not the same problem as too much clamping force on a pre-coated plug in 2018. The owner with the 2018 F-150 drove off relieved and luckier than he realized. He caught it before the overtorque had worked through enough heat cycles to cause permanent damage. Most people find out later, sometimes much later, when a technician goes to pull the plugs at 120,000 miles and something comes out that shouldn't. The most expensive spark plug mistakes are never made by owners who don't care. They're made by owners who care too much and follow advice that used to be right. Now you know enough never to make this one. Ford Longevity Blueprint is in the description. If this helped you, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.